Hi, welcome back. Today I want to talk about, like the stories that we tell or are told, that we consume actually. Yeah, the stories that we consume, but also the stories that we choose to create and make. And this is coming up because I just went to see Wuthering Heights. I had tried to listen to an audiobook because I realised I'd never read it or anything. And I tried to get into the audiobook and I just didn't, to be honest. I was going to say couldn't, but I didn't. I chose not to. I got so far and I just thought, you know what? Maybe this is a movie I get to watch without having read the book. That's okay. Yeah, so I went to see it. And from what I'd seen online, I thought it was going to be a very emotional experience. I was like mentally prepared. I knew it was going to be dark and that it wasn't necessarily going to have the best, like, most, I guess, wholesome characters. Wholesome's not quite the word I was looking for, but yeah, yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be aspirational characters, let's put it that way. And it wasn't, but it also, the characters weren't as bad as I thought they could have been. But also, I don't know what they've left out of the book because it sounds like it got a lot darker, maybe gothically, ghostly even. I don't know if I'm making that up in the book. But yeah, I don't know, having worked in film, I just wondered why, like, I'm in a darkened cinema. Like, it's as dark as it can be when you're watching a movie. And it's still so dark I can barely see what's going on in the scene. I just wonder why. Why is it that dark? You know? Does it need to be that dark? Like, it can be, a lot less dark and still be dark, if you know what I mean. Anyway. And then just like thematically with what the story is telling, like, yeah, I don't know, but this book is a classic. So it must have appealed and, resonated with audiences to a degree to get to that status. And was it just that people were more bored back in the day? And I know that this interpretation is probably more lively than what I've heard of the book even, but also it's a beloved book and I'm not poo-pooing anyone that really likes the book or the movie, or I didn't like hate it or anything. I just wasn't excited by it. It didn't emotionally move me. Like, was I rooting for the main two characters to be together? Yes, but then I think I had a plot point ruined, so maybe I would have been more emotional if I don't know, the moral core of the characters was not strong, but it also wasn't completely awful. I don't know, I just feel kind of meh about it, to be honest. I was expecting to have this whole emotional release. I mean, I talked yesterday about how, like, somatic release, which is like, physical in your body, but also emotionally in your body. Your soma is your body. How cathartic that can be. I didn't say it in so many words last night, but anyway, I went and did a dance party, which was somatic release, yeah. And so I love going to movies that I think I'm going to be emotional in because I get to have emotional release without it being something that is actually going on for me in my life. Sometimes it can resonate with something that's gone on in my life that makes me emotional. This just didn't. I don't know, it just didn't. And I know there's other people that had the opposite experience, and that's wonderful. The costumes are amazing. There was some really creepy themes in the set design that was quite cool, just creepy. And I know it was a fantastical version of things, but I don't know. I just thought, also, okay, I've been listening to the Charlie XCX soundtrack / album to it, and I've really been enjoying that. And so I just thought there was going to be more of that involved, and there wasn't a ton of it, to be honest. And I honestly think that album, if they'd used more of that somehow in the movie, it would have made the movie more exciting to me. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't come on here to poo-poo the movie. It was nice to get out to the cinema, you know, do something different. And yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I am just someone who enjoys tales of, you know, that uplift you, or, you know, they don't have to always be like so perfect and happy and tra-la-la, sunshine, rainbows and all that. But I want to at least aspire to there being possibility of some sunshine and rainbows at some point in the movie, you know? Or an emotional core that drives the characters forward and the story forward. And I mean, there is a level of that. I truly believe the two main characters really did love each other, but they just had some real toxic traits. It was just like a dire situation in many ways. Anyway, hopefully no one that was not needing the plot spoiled is watching, but also I don't think I've necessarily spoiled anything. But yeah, I don't know, as someone who's worked in film, I get frustrated that I see more and more stories like this. The stories that get the most attention seem to be dark and violent and not good energy, and yet they're the ones that win all the awards. Or I'm not saying that this one is in that category, because I don't think it's necessarily gonna win awards beyond maybe costume design, because the costumes are amazing, or the set design. But yeah, it just blows my mind sometimes, because there's a lot of darkness and violence in the stuff that gets all the accolades, and like that's something to look at as a society. That's what attracts us the most. That's the shadow side of society, because I think film and TV have such a powerful, they're such a powerful medium in order to help uplift and inspire and help people feel into stories that can resonate, or like that might relate to their life and what's going on for them to a degree that helps them make sense of the world. And ideally, if you have something that uplifts you, like, it's just a nice energy. You finish that movie and you just think, I'm so inspired. Like, that's sort of feeling I love, walking out of the cinema just feeling so inspired. Can't say I had that feeling today, but it's okay. Can't get it every time. Amazing actors though. It was great in many ways, but I don't know. Yeah. Meh. I was fully like preparing myself to get obsessed with it too. Nah, nothing. Anyway, it's probably healthy. Yeah. But yeah, like, can we not choose to create stories that are actually helping people? And I don't mean I love a good cheesy thing, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't mean it has to be cheesy and kind of awful to watch because it's trying too hard to tick the boxes and be goody two shoes. No, I think the darker side of things and the shadow helps character, and the suffering in characters actually helps them become stronger in order to go through, in order to become strong enough to hold what they truly desire and the good stuff. So and I think that's part of life, and you know, film and TV and stories are a mirror to life. But yeah, I just wish, I mean, I'm the annoying tutor when I go teach art and design at my old film school. I'm the one that's like, can you guys stop writing violent stories? Like, I mean, there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong, but man, the students just always come into the art department to get prop weapons. It always gets dark very easily. Can we not tell an emotional, weird story that isn't about fighting? I don't know. Crazy idea, isn't it? Anyway. I'll try and pull it back now to talking about, tuning into us within this kind of conversation I'm having today, because that's what this channel is for. But I do also share just what's going on in my day and what's on my mind. And yeah, I don't know, like I do question, and again, there's a time and a place for art that has darkness to it. And, you know, without the darkness, we don't know how light the light is, and it helps us see how light the light is, and that's a beautiful thing. And I'm not afraid of my darkness. In fact, I actively look at it to try and help unfold the light more, and, you know, choose better ways of being for myself. And, you know, stopping self-sabotaging myself as well. But yeah, what is it like? I just wonder, there's, you know, I don't know if you're someone that watches more like thrillers and horrors and things like that, and maybe it really brings you joy and you get really into the mystery of it, or you like being jump scared because it makes you feel something, whatever it is. But just I wonder if you're watching that stuff all the time, how much is that affecting your psyche, you know? How much is that having you see the world through a darker lens that you don't need to see the world through? You know, you could, if you were, you know, watching or listening to stories that, not all the time, but like sometimes it like uplifted you or excited you, then maybe you could believe that certain things are possible for you that you haven't felt that was possible because you've been consuming mostly dark stories, you know? So just this external source of information via the medium of film and TV is so powerful as to how we code our internal world. So, and I know it is for me, especially because I'm such a film story nerd, and I literally go through my day quoting to myself all sorts of different things, and if I think somebody's going to get it that's around me, I will quote things around them and to them, and kind of add a bit of whimsy to the day if it's a silly thing, and it's just fun. And I love all the stories that have helped form my perspective of the world. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing to, like, you know, like, who I would be and how I'd view the world would be vastly different if I didn't watch, like, majority of the films that I've watched, you know, and got really into and got excited about. Like, I'll be a different person. Yeah. So yeah, what does your film taste, your art taste, I guess, your creativity taste, tell you about what's going on for you in your life? Is there things, actually, this is a good thing to think about. Are there, like, is there music or bands or films that you used to absolutely love, like as a teenager or a kid, and you've revisited it in recent years and just doesn't hit like it used to, or you just kind of think, oh, that was quite whiny, really, that's very angsty, I'm just not there anymore. But I do remember really being there and feeling it. But now I see the world through a different lens. I've grown up. Yeah, I like the nostalgia sometimes to come back and watch this or listen to this, but you know, I don't need to be sitting this in this frequently. So, you know, I think a lot of us had that with, like, you know, the really I mean, I know there's a lot of emo friends I have that still love the emo music, and I still do too. Actually, emo's maybe not the best example because that's actually a pretty good time. But like, you know, sometimes I'll listen to like Limp Bizkit, for instance. My brother used to always play it through the wall. He was playing it for himself and I could hear it through the wall. Stuff like break stuff, like that song gets me and it's so good and I love it and I love to go hard with it when the moment is right. But I don't want to be listening to that daily because that's a lot of, like, it helps me channel anger and frustration and such, and it can help you release it too in the right space. But yeah, we get to choose how much we sit in these sit with these small pieces of artwork, essentially, that very much form how we see the world and our psyche and all that. So yeah, I don't know that whole spiel came back and made a lot of sense, but I just like to discuss stories and discuss how they're shifting how we see the world, and how, you know, maybe just notice next time how, if it's affecting you in a good or bad way, and maybe you feel like, oh, maybe I won't choose to listen to too much of that or watch too much of that. I feel better when I don't. Or, you know, and again, using the example of going back to what did you absolutely love as a kid or a teenager that you just don't quite vibe with anymore, but you can still you still remember what it was like to be a kid and really resonate with it. Like, just look at that and see if there's anything that you're consuming that isn't actually serving you with how you want to see the world. Because we get to create our perspective to a degree, and choose to see what we want to see in the world to a degree. And yes, there are things going on that externally, most of the things going on, we don't have any control over. But what we do have control over is how we react and how we choose to consume and show up, you know? So anyway, that's a little penny for your thoughts today. I didn't actually introduce myself today. I'm Crystal from Crystal Clear Coaching, and this has been my little spiel for the 1st of March. It's the 1st of March. Yeah, I can't believe already on to the 3rd month of the year, but here we are. Hopefully the world you know, finds ways to choose peace and love. And you know, that doesn't seem to be the case in the news that I woke up to this morning. But I want that for everyone, and especially the ones that are choosing it for themselves, and then others that they are then leading into awful wars and trauma. And yeah, anyway, I won't wax poetic about the world right now, but we can do better as humankind. We can do better, right? So let's do better. Just starting with ourselves, tuning into ourselves, right? We can do better. Then how can we hold accountable the people that are in power that are not actually doing what's best and what the people want? And how do we reclaim our power in a peaceful way? I don't know, just some questions that came to mind. I don't know the answer. be great if we did. Maybe collectively, if we can all sit with these questions, we will find better ways of showing up and loving each other through our differences without having to get violent. Yeah, okay. Enough of that. I'll see you tomorrow. Much love.